Hello, 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 beautiful people. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. How are you guys doing today on this beautiful Wednesday? The sun is finally out. I don't know where you're at, but the sun finally came out. It's been raining and it's been dark and gloomy for the past couple of days. Um, yeah, I've just been wanting to stay inside and observe the nature from the window. Um, so let me click record on here. Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Welcome to another incredible podcast that we have ready for you guys for today. We wanted to, here's how we want to start now. We want to welcome everyone to Heal the Unicorn podcast that we host every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Our goal with this podcast and this company is to introduce you to ideas, stories, tools that will help you to actually heal the broken unicorn within you so you can not only live the life you truly desire, but to do so as your true and authentic self 111% of the time and escape the mental prison that you are in by starting to heal as you apply what you learn here in this podcast that we host every Wednesday live in the Facebook group called Empathy Unicorn Academy for you guys. And of course, then it gets recorded and uploaded, so you can watch it anytime you want afterwards. But today, the topic that we have for you is the three different types of truth and the difference between true and truth. A lot of us, it took me a while to understand what the words actually meant, because I thought true and truth were the same thing, the same word, it's just said differently, but they're actually not. They have different meanings. So Bethany, I know you spent some time looking into the meanings today, and I wanted to give you the floor to share with everyone what you have learned from your research and also from your experiences of, what is true and what is truth.
Okay, yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so happy you all are here with us. Thank you for supporting us and being here. We appreciate you all. But you were saying, Yana, about thinking at first it was the same thing. When learning about true and truth through our personal growth and development, I thought it was the same thing too. I'm like, because when you look it up online, because I looked up the difference, the different words, true and truth, and I looked up the definitions, and they're the same. The definition is almost identical. And I'm like, okay, well, they're different though. They're very different. And so I reflected on it. And this is what I came up with after really reflecting and seeing like different examples, is that true is something that is correct for one moment. So a quick example is a sale at a store. Now that's for that one moment, that's true. But tomorrow, with the sale ends, that's not true anymore. So it's not a truth, because the truth is correct at any time. So if that sale was the price at all times, it never changed and it always stayed that way, then it would be the truth. But since prices at the store fluctuate, they are not truth, they are true, which is an interesting way to think about it, with the moments, having this be, right. So it's like your feelings is another example. So how I'm feeling right now and who I am right now versus my values and my greatness. So my values and my greatness are the truth. That's correct at any moment. But how I'm feeling right now and who I am right now will change. And so it's true, because I am striving to be the best version of myself every day and grow, expand, and heal. So how I'm feeling or how you're feeling really is just true. It's not a truth, because our feelings change. There are flags. They tell us what's going on. And so we can't have that be truth, because I wouldn't want to be like, if it was like, well, I'm angry right now. Well, I don't want that to be truth, because I don't want to be angry all the time. It has its purpose. Or I am excited right now. There's a time and a place for excitement. If I had excitement all the time and have that be true, it's going to go to anxiety because I was there. And I had a lot of anxiety, and excitement can feel like the same thing. And as I said, greatness. So what does that mean? Because I said, your truth is your greatness, your values. And really, I'm going to take it back to what greatness means. So your greatness is you stepping into your own power. It's your passions and gifts. It's your authentic self, your true authentic self. And when I say true, it's because, like I said, you're always growing, you're always expanding when you're on the spiritual awakening journey. So you have your authentic self, but the true, it's changing because you're changing yourself to be for the best. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. And also it's your worth, your brilliance and magnificence. This is greatness, and your significance and importance. And your greatness is never going to change because it's your passion and your gifts. And we all have our unique abilities. So it's good to have that, to be open and to be free to your greatness and to show the world around you that greatness, because that's something that's going to be there no matter what. Your gifts and your passions, your uniqueness is only for you. And as much as you want to try to change your gifts, I feel like, what's meant for you is meant for you. And yeah, you can do it, but there's going to be a little resistance because it might not be fully for you. And it's good to weed out what is for you. But anyways, so greatness. And another example I was thinking about was a flower growing. So when you have a flower right now, it's beautiful, it's growing, but it's going to come time when fall and winter happens and that flower is going to die. Now that's true. Now think about the root system of that flower, that plant. A lot of the times when the flower dies on the outside, it's still thriving on the inside, on the roots, because I've seen it with my flowers. I have these beautiful orange lilies that pop up every year, and I don't replant them, they just grow again because their roots are strong and sturdy, and that's the truth because they're helping them grow and thrive. But the flower is the true part of it because it's going to die eventually. It's not going to stay that beautiful flower unless you get a fake one. If you get a fake one, yeah, well, then that's truth because it's fake. Nothing's going to happen to it. So yeah, that's what else? That's pretty much another thing. Truth is your age, because that's always going to be. You can't really change your age. I mean, you could say, hey, my age is this, but ultimately your age is your age. So that's a truth. So really just taking it back to being true is correct for this moment right now, and truth is correct at any moment. So you think about those, like your values. So my values, greatness is one of them, gratitude, love, joy, abundance. And we've been going through them each week, but those things always stay. They stay the truth. And knowing the difference of this has been really empowering because I feel like I can use it because I'm like, okay, well, it's true right now. And here's an activity that really has helped me. I like to call it the True and Truth activity. And it helps it's a really great assessment. So let's say right now I am feeling vibrant. I'm feeling energized. Is it true? Yes, right now. Is it truth? Am I going to feel this way later on? I mean, I'm not fully sure. I would hope so. So it's not absolute truth, but for right now it is. So I'm going to focus on what I'm feeling right now. Now, this feeling of being energized and vibrant, how do I respond to others around me? Or how do people respond to me? So taking it back, and a lot of the times when I'm feeling this way, others are feeling this way too, and they're feeling more motivated and just really excited about the day. Now let's turn it around. Let's turn it around to the opposite. So I'm feeling sluggish. I'm feeling lethargic. I'm tired. How does that make you feel? I don't like that. I don't want that. So I'm going to take it back to how I'm feeling right now of being energized and vibrant. And because that is going to be my truth. That's how I want to feel, to strive to feel. So that's that exercise that I do. And if you want me to message you guys that, or you have any questions about it, put in the comments and I can message you the activity, because it's been a really powerful one. When I learned that activity, it helped transform, among other things, of course. But it really like removed the blinders, like, whoa, there's a difference, like mind blown. And then it just really just helped me step into my power, step into my greatness, letting me be my true authentic self, because I'm not staying the same. I'm changing to be the best version, like I said, but I'm always growing, expanding, and healing, and learning, and practicing. So as I'm coming to a close for right now, but I'm sure all the other points, I just want to leave you guys with this little quote. You are capable of greatness. Follow your heart, believe in yourself, and access your courage. Anything is possible that you set your mind and intention to. And one more thing. So there's this affirmation I say every day that helps me strengthen my greatness, which helps strengthen the true and truth aspect as well. So I practice my integrity, which helps strengthen my courage. And then that enhances my inner power, my strength, and then I'm able to step into my greatness. So Yana, what does it mean to you? I want to hear your side of it now, because I feel like I've been jabbering away. So I want to hear your wisdom on this topic.
So I would say everything that you said, I'm with you on that. I have gone through, like, one of the things that popped up to me is self-worth. This is one of the things that I have gone through and still find myself in that place where there's self-doubt that comes up. Whether the thought is conscious or not, it's there. Sometimes it's just my body is doubting, and I feel this my lack of self-worth, my inability to show up as my best self. So what I do with that is I ask one question: how true is that really? And I use the word true because whatever is going on, that is not my truth, authentic self. That is not my real authentic self. That is just a program that's there. That is a true program. So what I'm feeling, my self-loathing, my worthlessness, all of that is very true and is very, very, very much real in the moment. But when I ask myself, how true is that really? It takes me right out. And right away, I'm like, pardon my language, but it's not fucking true. Where is that coming from? Right? And I go down that rabbit hole for myself. And I love going down the rabbit holes because that's how it's like Alice in Wonderland. She went down the rabbit hole, and then look who she came out to be after the rabbit hole, even though it was a dream. Probably wasn't a dream, right? It's like, in the end, was it a dream? Was it true? Or was it true? Did it really happen or did it not happen? So these rabbit holes that we all have opportunities to go into the rabbit hole. We're sitting at that edge. And often it's because we are questioning something. So I want everyone to question everything. And when we start questioning, like when the reason why a question exists is because there is an answer, at least one answer, right? The answer could be true, it could be truth. And the more we ask, the closer we will get to the truth. Because initially we're going to be hearing what is true. Now, another thing, what I would add to what you were saying, because what you said there does not need to be adjusted or anything like that. It was perfect. So I will just add and, make a pile on it, right?
Yeah, on sprinkle more magic.
Exactly. So let's talk about stories, wives' tales, fears that have been passed down generation after generation after generation, and these what is it called, when the black cat crosses the, I forgot what the word is for that, with like, when the black cat crosses your path, it's supposed to be bad luck. Superstitions, right? That's another thing that is true, but it is not the truth. Okay, because a lot of the true things, essentially what they are, is they are man-made. Whereas the truth, it is the universal truth. It is what it is. The grass is green. You can look at it and you can say it's not green, but it is green. And it just reminds me of another fact that I heard, that women actually see more colors than men do. And it is actually a scientific fact, just saying. So if your man does not see the grass as the green color that you see, that's okay. Because women see more colors, more shades of colors. So there you go.
More vibrant.
Little fact in there. Now, is it true or truth? I can't say that, because again, that is, tests, scientists, all that kind of stuff that is potentially true might not necessarily mean it is the truth. But the way to find out is continue to dig and go into the rabbit hole. So if one of you wants to go down the rabbit hole, or has gone down the rabbit hole about the colors, feel free to share that with us. So I wanted to share that, universal truths, and then talking about depression and anxiety. Okay, I have gone through that, and it doesn't just go away, right? It doesn't disappear. We get better at dealing with it, of overcoming when we have the times and moments of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, the mind struggles, because it is all in the mind. But the mind is so freaking powerful that it paralyzes the body. So when I was going through my, I'm going to call that time deep resting time, because I was deeply resting. I was always like napping and sleeping, and everything that I was going through was very, very true. And it was affecting me in all the areas of my life. And it was very true, because it is. But what I was going through, and what I mean by that is the thoughts that were playing in my mind, whether they were conscious or unconscious, right? And the difference between those is, consciously we are aware of those thoughts, we hear them, but the unconscious thoughts is just, perfect example, some of you might relate, some of you might not, but what was happening with me, and it still does once in a while, is when I wake up in the morning, I feel very anxious, and I don't know why, because there's no conscious thought that I'm aware of as to why. And what I do is then I sit with myself and go into that rabbit hole that has presented itself in the form of anxiety that morning, as to why I'm feeling that way. And what I'm feeling is the truth, because this is what is happening right now. And what I've gone through is very much real, right? It actually happened. Alice in the Wonderland, as I am in the mornings, went into that rabbit hole, woke up in the morning, and it's feeling like, what just happened? Did it really happen or not? So, and it creates energy within the body. So, talking about true and truth when it comes to anxiety and depression, by just taking a moment to question, how true is it what I'm going through, can help us to step out of it at least a little, at least get one foot out of that feeling. And more often than not, it is more than enough for us to get out of there and continue to ask more and more questions, but making sure to take the time to hear the response that we are getting from the universe, because universe knows all truths. And once we're able to tap into the universal truth and universal knowledge and wisdom, it's fun. It really is fun. And then that way we're able to take ourselves out of the place that we're currently in. It just takes a little bit of practice. And I'm not here to tell you that it's easy. I'm here to actually tell you that it's hard. It's hard as F most days, where it's just, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it. I just want to go to sleep and go take a nap. And if you're like me and you want to go take a nap, I'll tell you that naps are actually not beneficial. And this is from experts that I've been listening to, that talk about anxiety and depression and how naps actually amplify those things. And that one is actually truth and not true. I had to go through it on my own to learn and see, is it really true? How true is it really? Let me try, let me practice. I'll be my own little guinea pig without even realizing I was doing that. It was like, no, the defiant child in me is like, no, I am not. I don't believe you. I need to test this out for myself. So I tested it out, and let me tell you, it is very true. It is very true that if we couple with anxiety, going back to sleep for a nap to feel better ain't going to help. But meditation would, a walk would, a dance would, screaming on your, just for yourself, just to release it, not screaming at someone, not anger, because that just makes it worse. Another experiment I've done unintentionally, but it just makes things worse. So those are the things I want to share. Another thing I jotted down was our thoughts that we have are true. They are true, but they're often not the truth. And in order for us to get down to the bottom of what is true and what is truth, we need to ask questions. And sometimes open-ended questions are good. Open-ended question is the questions that basically the response would be yes or no. Those questions are great, but for some of us, and sometimes this is where, like for me, for example, the best questions for me are yes or no questions. And some of you might already know that, and people that know me very well know, just ask me yes or no question, because if you ask me an open-ended question, I will go to the depths that you were not prepared for. Right? But then you're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I
My husband knows that. My coach knows that. She's the one that told me as well that.
Yeah, I do the same thing. That's why I also laugh. So I'm like, yep, I know how that is.
Yeah. But those are like open-ended questions are great, but empowering questions that get me to go into the depths of it are also incredibly rewarding and healing, that allow me to get to the depths of the truth that I'm trying to get to. And the more that we practice it, the more that we get out of it. And then the closer we get to the truth. And I know some of us, and like me, people that are listening that might be like me, I want to know all the universal truths. It's like, why is the sky blue? Why are the stars there? Oh, which one of them are alive? Which ones aren't? Right? How can I tell? How does this lighter work? You know what I mean? Like all these little questions that seem unimportant can actually be very important to us, because in asking those questions, we're practicing the art of asking questions and seeking the answers. This is one of the things that we as children were suppressed on. Like we were told, oh, stop asking the questions. Why are you always asking why? Why do you need to know everything? Like, just stop, right? There's more ways of how parents respond, but essentially that's it. It's like a child asks a question and a parent only has so much energy to help in answering those questions, because it causes like I would want to call it anxiety. It kind of causes like anxiety and annoyance, and it's just like, leave me alone. Because as parents, we went through the same thing, and we are just replaying the same thing over and over and over again, the same patterns, retelling the same stories. When I was a child, I didn't have all the TVs that you have. I didn't get to play video games. I played with sticks when I was outside. So maybe you should go be playing outside, right? We try to continue to pass down the true things that we were told, right? The truth things that we were told, the truth experiences that our parents have gone through, and our parents compare their childhood to our childhood. We as adults, as parents, compare our childhood to our kids' childhood, which is true, but it isn't true, because what we went through was meant to be for us. And we are not here to replicate our childhood for our kids. We're here to allow our kids to experience their own childhood in the way that the universe has already predetermined for them, and allow them to discover their own truth. And we're here to help them guide. We're here to be their guide, and they are here to be our guides and help us to remember the power of questioning things all the time. And in the world that we're living in right now, it has never been more important than it is right now. Really, like, just asking everything that comes into our field, is this true? Is this truth? Because with so much information out there, whether the information is true or is it truth, we each need to decipher that for ourselves, and not allow anyone else to tell us what is true and what is truth. Because this is my life. This is your life. And if we allow other people's truths, right, which is the truth, to become ours, it could potentially do more damage than good. Talking about these old stories, old, wives' tales, all the superstitions that have been passed down, that have been given to us. I'm sorry to say, but most of them have not served any good in my life. They have not added much value. The only thing that those things have done, they have caused more fear in my life. And just to think about it, when I started working through what is true, what is truth, most of them were just true, because they were just somebody else's stories and experiences, which was not the truth. So why would I allow somebody else's true experience in as it is the truth, and bow at it and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to listen to that, and I'm going to avoid, and a black cat crosses my path. Oh my God, I'm going to run the other way. No. It's just a cat. And the color of a cat should not matter. It should not matter, period. Just like the color of a human being shouldn't matter. So why are we isolating black cats? Just because witches used to have them? Well, maybe there's something to it, because maybe they have more power. Again, that was something that was shared with me. My grandmother, rest her soul, she shared with me that black cats have more energy. So this is why some people would have a black cat and allow a black cat to lay on them wherever it was hurting, and that energy that a black cat carries would heal. Again, it might be true, but it is not the truth.
Well, and something with the cats. It's actually
The cat, yes,
purring, yes.
but not the color of it.
Healing, yeah, not the color, but the sound. Yeah.
Yeah,
The healing.
that's actually, that is the truth, because vibrations, right? We're talking about cats. Let's talk about the truth of cats, okay? And the universal vibrations. Everything is energy.
Yep.
Everything vibrates. And if we turned off, best example, when blackouts, when the blackout happens, how eerie, silent the house becomes. We don't realize how loud our environment actually is until everything is shut off. So now this is just like, the vibration, the frequency, and the sounds that we can kind of go back and try to remember. Yeah, I remember blackout, how silent everything was, how great it was, and how peaceful we felt as well. Cats, when they purr, that's a vibration that you can just feel and hear. And when that cat goes, that's why my cat, he likes to sit on me all the time. Not that I need healing, actually. We can all use some healing. Yeah. But he likes to sit on me and I feel his vibrations. And if I'm in a foul or rotten mood, or I feel down, and he sits on me and he purrs, I start to feel better. Because that vibration goes through me.
Right. And then for nature, because I don't have a cat. My cat, it was a black cat. His name was Pounce. He's actually at my parents'. He's just, yeah, I didn't want to move him across country. But anyways, so for me, nature has that same thing, because all plants and everything outside, animals, they all have their own frequencies and vibrations. So you go outside and you get similar healing to a cat's purr as well. And if you notice, when you go outside, and especially if you go to a remote area where there's not, like, you're in the woods, nothing else is around you or something, you're going to feel that silence like you talked about with the blackout, and that peace. So one place when I like to decipher true and truth is I like to go into nature, because you can find so many truth things out there, the universal truths, man-made truths. You can find all that, and it's a powerful place. And like you were saying, you can go to a cat. Like, there's a lot of different things that we can use as teachers, and that's the beautiful thing, is how there's universal truth, there's my truth, and there's your truth, because we all have different truths. Like I was saying, your greatness, that's your truth. And we're all different, we're all unique. And that's the beautiful thing about life, is like my greatness is not the same as yours. And that's wonderful, because there can be a bigger impact, more empowerment, more encouragement, more healing, more growth and expansion, because we have all of our own truths.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up nature as well. So one of the things, I have this, oh, let me pick this up. I don't know how many pounds this book is. So I went to my friend's house, and I was looking through one of the witch groups, and there was spells in there. I'm like, I'm not sure what this ingredient is. She goes, oh, I have this book, and she brings out a book that's a lot smaller than this one. It's 1,000 spells that she has. I'm like, oh my God, I have the same one, but with 5,000. This is a heavy book. If you want to straighten out a leaf or any plant, you can put that on here. So one of the things that was just kind of like open on a random page, and the page that it opened on, not that I need it, but this was for conceiving a child. Okay. And the first one that I looked at, the only one that I looked at, because I was like, tell me what I need to hear. Right. Again, it's not for me. So I'm thinking that it might be for somebody else. And that's why now I'm bringing it up here. So if this is for you and you're curious, reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to search for this page and find this page in this book for you, or give you the pages and share with you. But what it was talking about is hanging some dolls on the tree as you are giving a gift to the tree. And that tree will decide if it accepts it or not. And I instantly started thinking about vibrations and the intention behind you giving those gifts to the tree, that the tree doesn't speak the language that we do, it speaks in a different language, but it hears what you're saying, and then it will basically give you what you want. Um,
Yeah.
I guess if you're ready. So I thought, I'm like, that's interesting. Now, is it true or is it truth? In this moment in time, I can't give you that answer because I feel like the answer would be it depends. It depends on you and your energy and your thoughts and your being and your existence and the truth and true that you carry and what you look at. This cat, likes to sit on my shoulder lately. He just wants to make sure that he's seen.
Well, yeah, and he wants to make sure you're not carrying too much weight on your shoulders, maybe. He's like,
Yeah.
this spot healing, you're carrying a little bit here. Let me just sit here real quick.
Yeah.
Or he wants to be held like a baby. Our mascot. Hello, Ramsey. Welcome.
Yeah. Oh, and also an FYI, those of you that have cats like their the butt tapped. I've been doing it intuitively since I've had cats since they were little. But my husband learned that and he shared that with me. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Makes sense.
My dog likes to be pat the same spot. Sugar likes to be pat right there.
Some male dogs don't like it because it's too close to their private parts.
Oh, okay.
But for cats, it's different, right? Like,
maybe that's what he wanted. He's all, give me pats, Mom. Pats.
Yeah.
Oh, truth. This is the truth right now. That's my truth, Mom.
Well, a perfect example. This is the truth, right? But again, some cats might not, depending on like a human, right? Just because most people like their, I was gonna say like their head stroke, but no, I don't think so. Most people like to be praised, but there are some people that don't like it. Why? It's because there's a lot of discomfort with it. Why? I can't give the answer as to why, because this is something that each individual needs to look within and discover why. But with cats, I would imagine it's the same thing, that there's some cats, depending on what they went through, their experiences, they might not like that, right? Just like some animals or some pets are okay with their paws being touched, where most are not, right? Yeah. So the other thing I had written down here is true is ever changing. Truth is just is. Truth is something that is just is, and you can't change it. It is what it is. The grass is green. You can't change it. You can color it, but it's still going to be green. Your hair, I'm a brunette, so even though it might look like it's like almost black and dark in here, but I'm a brunette. My hair will always be a brunette color. I can change it all I want, and the color that I put on will be the true color, but it will not be the truth color that I have, right? So, the sun will come out in the morning. The time of when it comes out will change depending on the season, but it always comes out. The clouds don't always mean that it's going to rain. So I'm thinking of like looking at the clouds. Oh, it's going to rain, which feels like it's the truth, but it is not the truth, because clouds don't always mean that it's going to rain. And at the same time, waking up with anxiety. Just because I woke up with anxiety does not mean I'm going to have it the whole entire day. So what I'm feeling right now in the moment, it is the truth. It really is the truth. It is not true. It is the truth, because this is what I'm feeling. And it is very real because it's based on my experiences, my things that are coming up, right? That I'm aware of or not aware of. So it is very true and truth in the moment. But that does not mean it's going to be like that for the whole entire day. It will, if I do nothing about it, but soak in it and sit with it and focus on that and dwell on it, that too serves its purpose, by the way. If you're there, it's serving its purpose. And if you feel like you need to stay there, you stay there and you absorb it and soak it in, because you also know what the opposite feels like. And when you're ready to embrace and take on the opposite, then you will do that. But allow yourself to be where you are right now. Right? So often this happens with my clients as well, is when my client is in a dark place, all I want to do is to take them out of there. And it's still hard for me to not take them out of there, because as an empath, and I feel that energy, like, and it goes into my body. That's why Bethany was actually talking about my shoulder hurting, because this is a conversation we had with with one of my friends who's going through a lot of heaviness. And I've taken on that energy and I've been carrying it on myself knowingly. And I needed to cleanse and release and give it, return to sender. But in that experience, me carrying that heaviness is the truth. And I needed to let go of it in the way that I do and remind myself that it's not mine. So with my clients, when that happens, I also remind myself, because when I was going through my stuff, when somebody would try to take me out of there, I wasn't ready. I needed to do that on my own. So some of you might be listening, some of you might be coaches or friends. We all have people who are going through a rough time, whether it's a moment or a time, that we want to help them and take them out of there. It's not our job to do that. We can potentially take away and steal a little bit of the much needed experience and journey that they're supposed to go on with whatever it is that they're going through. Whether we are okay with it or not, whether we are like, I know you can do better. I know what you're capable of, because I've seen it, or I know the human potential, period. I know the human potential. I've seen the human potential. I myself did not even believe, like, for me, going back to, my deep resting time, my truth was, this is it. It's never going to change. It's going to be like this for the rest of my life. I will never get better. I will never see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I will always feel miserable. And I'm a horrible human being. And I'm a worthless human being. And I'm a horrible mother. That was my truth at that time. But it wasn't the truth. It was true. So having, coming out of that, realizing, and then eventually learning that, oh my God, the tunnel itself is an illusion. The tunnel doesn't exist. The light is all around. It's just when we're in that place, I wish I had my tool. My tool that I have is like a toilet paper roll, or the hand wipe rolls, paper towel rolls.
Oh, okay.
So that's my tool of what I like to use as an example of when we are in this state of darkness and heaviness. That becomes our vision. We see, and this is, I guess, a tool. We see one eye closed, and we just see through one narrow, really small view. And then the more work that we do, which again is not easy. It is not easy. It is often painful. It is often uncomfortable, and it is often something that we want to quit. But we all know that once we start shifting out of that place, it becomes, and we get a taste of freedom, as I like to call it, when we feel unlimited. We want more of that.
Mhm.
So the more work that we do, the wider this becomes, this view that we have, this vision that we have. And then all of a sudden it becomes the two, right? The two. It becomes the goggles, and it spreads and spreads. And then we can see the whole 180. Because we can never see the 360 because our eyes don't turn back. Birds can, and other animals, and I'm thinking of chameleon, they can, but we can't. So yeah, I feel like I'm done talking with that one.
I love it. It's a good example because it's ultimately, I feel like it's the truth, the universal truth.
And yeah,
The stuff that you've learned, your wisdoms that you've learned that you're able to share with all of us. And I really liked your example on dyeing hair for true and truth. That was a really good example. And then also how true is ever changing, and truth, it just is. I really like that as well. I thought those were really good points. I don't have much else to say, to be honest. So I'm gonna take this time to just do my poem real quick. I have two that go together. I know we're not going to probably end when I get done with this, but I just felt like
this is a perfect time.
Yeah, a good time to start. Because I feel like what we've been talking about, this will kind of like sum it all in, and also like bring some encouragement. So there are so many blessings in our present moment. Take a moment to do some deep breathing and enjoy the now and the journey of life we are all on. Express yourself wholeheartedly and step into your greatness while sharing your experiences. Learn and teach. And then with a capacity for endurance and toughness, strength helps increase the energy to push past limits. With this physical and mental stability, the access to our inner power catapults us to our greatness, which, like I was saying, it catapults us to our greatness, which is our true universal truth. Instead of us being in a place of, because there's days where I don't feel my greatness. There's days that I'm feeling small, when let's say I've been posting and I'm just not getting interactions. There's times where I'm like, well, why am I doing this? What is the point? And then I ask myself those questions that what I was talking about earlier, is this absolutely true? Maybe right now I feel this way, but it is not the absolute truth. It is not the universal truth. It is not correct for all moments. And it helps me lift me up, because then I could be like, well, when I'm in this place, this is how I'm feeling, and I don't like that feeling. So let me change my channel to how I want to feel and do something about it. Practice my tools and medicines. And the one tool and medicine that we can practice at any time is our breath. And our breath can bring us to, as now I want to say it, really diving into the true and truth, because with being true, it's changing. I want to be my truth, authentic self, or I just want to be my authentic self, because that's where my greatness lies. When I put that, this is a realization I'm having right now that I just want to share with everyone. When I'm putting that label of I want to be my true, authentic self, yes, okay, maybe my moment right now I'm feeling energized and vibrant, but the next moment, maybe I stub my toe and I'm in pain. I don't want to have that pain all the time. So that's not the truth. I want to be my truth, authentic self, my full authentic self, my great authentic self. And I say that to all of you guys because I want you to be the same. I want you to be your great authentic self, because you deserve to shine. You deserve to show everyone what you're made of,
Yeah. And it takes practice. It's not, as children, it's easy for us to be our truth, authentic self, because we don't shy away from who we are. We haven't been given the program yet. We haven't been told, oh, don't do this, don't do that, because people will say this or think that, right? We haven't acquired doubts, fears, worries, concerns, judgments, comparisons. We haven't acquired that. That is all that we learn. This is not something that we're born with. And I say that because if we look at people that are living in tribes, there's still people that live in tribes that are not living in the society that we're living in. Why are those kids not comparing themselves to everybody? Why are those kids not full of fear? Why are those kids not full of doubt and self-loathing and, worrying about what everybody will think about them? Why? Why are those kids comfortable being butt us naked? And we feel complete and total shame and embarrassment if we walk by the window naked. Most of us feel that way, right? But with practice, we can become great at, even going outside naked if we want to. Why is it that we were taught from birth, you can't go outside naked. You got to dress, you got to cover up. Right. Whereas in tribes, they're not, right? Again, of course, there's other things that in the society that we know that involves children, like pedophilia is a real thing, and we are all concerned, and that's why, kids are covered up and all that kind of stuff. But what I wanted to say about what you were saying, the quotes, is what I heard from that is exercise is what leads to greatness. And I heard a great example that if you want to build your confidence, the best way to do it is through exercise. Because when you go and you exercise, and not that many, I was going to say not that many people, but there are many people that feel great when they exercise, but most people don't want to exercise. It feels like torture. Why would I want to go and beat up my body so I can feel the soreness for the next couple of days? But the thing is, when we go and we exercise and we overcome that very thing that stops us, that's instant confidence. And right, which leads to greatness. The more we do something that we don't want to do, not only that it becomes easier, but we come closer to our truth, to who we are, like who we were born to be. And we can then start questioning the program that we received, starting with shame. This one we all are very, very familiar with. The shame that I feel. How true is it really? It is very true. It is very true. And where did it come from? Who gave me that idea? Where did the idea come from? When did it start? When did I start believing that this, or let's use an example of me being naked, that I need to be ashamed for the way that I look, or the way, that somebody might see me out of the window? When did all that start? And then going into that rabbit hole and digging deeper, and then getting down to the truth. And the truth would be that you were born naked, and I mean, you might not die naked because you'll be dressed up, but you will end up, because the clothes will also disintegrate. You'll still end up going naked, right? But why, right? Why? And do I want to continue that way? The answer might be yes, or the answer might be no. If the answer is yes, continue on. If the answer is no, what can I do about it? How can I start this journey, this process of me being completely comfortable in my own skin and not being ashamed with who I am, minus the clothes, right? And for a lot of women, actually, this is the reality that we live in, that we feel ashamed and uncomfortable in our own body and skin, especially if there's a couple of extra pounds on that we have put on. And the truth is that women have been objectified. Like, I'm doing the circle because this is like a circle that goes for as long as it can, like as long as we have existed, right? Because seeing a naked woman does something to a man, right? And it's, if we really pause for a couple of minutes here and talk about the truth that we as women have experienced and have lived through, is that it wasn't that long ago that women had no rights. Really, not that long ago. Just a couple of generations ago that we had no rights. What we had to go through to get to where we are, and we continue to do that. Like, this is the truth. And there's a lot of healing that women need to go through and are going through.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is something that it is part of the program as well, but it's also at the same time something that is in our blood. It's like a visceral feeling. Why is it that people are terrified to go and do a video? Why are people terrified to go live? That's a great question.
Yeah. Judgment. A lot of people are afraid of judgment. That's one thing that when I started my live journey, I had to work through, because it was my truth at the time. It felt like, oh my gosh, like people are gonna judge me. You know, I'm not as like other like people on the internet, you know, that have like high numbers, but that doesn't matter because ultimately we have like I was saying, we have our own greatness. So yes, that person might have high numbers, but can they talk about things or talk about their medicines and tools like I can? Or like, you know, can they talk about mine? No, because mine are unique to me. And I was just realizing that I actually changed that true authentic self a couple months ago without even knowing it, because I was kind of looking through my poems, my quotes real quick to see if I've been putting that in there. And I don't do that anymore. I've been doing like, I'm my unique authentic self. I'm my great authentic self, because it feels more empowering. And and that's why I also brought that up earlier, because I felt like it was like a powerful moment on like True and Truth as well. And I'm just like putting that piece to that puzzle, connecting that one dot to put it all together. And it just feels super powerful. And I hope it brings power to people watching, and that they're able to see that and be like, okay, I want to be like that. I want to do that. Because that's what we love to do, is lead by example and show what's possible in this life. Because 3 years ago, if I were to go back and talk to the person I was then, this is false. Like this, no, do not talk to me about this stuff. Like, but the reason why I was so shut off is because I had so many blocks and so many traumas and triggers that I was holding on to that were blocking that greatness, that were blocking me from my unique, authentic self, my great, authentic self. Because like we talked about, true changes, it's ever changing, like you were saying. And I love that example. And like how I was saying, it's right here, right now. Yes, it's good to be here in the moment. We talk about that. But with this type thing of like really digging deep to find your truth of who you really are, your values, go with the truth, go with the uniqueness, go with your magnificence, your brilliance, your worth. Because that's what's important. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that's what we all want. Yeah. We just want to be ourselves all the time and be left the fuck alone and not judged and not put down and not observed. But That's not where the freedom is. The freedom is being yourself, authentically yourself, staying true to who you are. And I say true to who you are, not truth, because who you are continues to evolve as you continue to evolve. So that will continue to change. That's why it is true. Um, and it's not easy to do. But what we really want is to be ourselves and not give a shit about what anybody else thinks or say. Like not even think about it, not even consider it, not even care about it, right? Not even have that cross our mind. But in order for that to happen and take place, we all need to go back and reprogram ourselves and put the program in that we actually want, instead of the one that we have taken on without actually even being conscious of it. Because the programming that we have right now is what we received up until the age of 7. So just to think about it, it's like, I'm sorry, but pardon my language, but how fucked up is that we become who we are now by the age of 7, when we are like, we can't even rationalize, we can't even think, we can't even tell a story properly, we can't even get our point across clearly so everybody can understand it. And yet this is when we are programmed. And then afterwards, we are continuing to also add to the program that we have received. No wonder we are then eventually wake up and go through a spiritual awakening and saying, what the fuck? Like, this is not me. We feel, if this resonates with you, like, high five. But eventually we wake up and it's like, we feel like we're aliens, that we're not meant to be here, that I don't belong here, I belong somewhere else. Like for me, I found myself just feeling like I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be up there in the sky, in the night sky. Like that's where I belong. For other people, they were pulled and called to the forest. Like this is where I belong. This is where I am. But often it's like outside of this planet, because it just feels like this is not it. And it's because of the program, because we wake up and we realize this is not who I am. So then what's the next thing that we do? We go into depression. We then eventually, if depression is not dealt with, anxiety can set in, or it might be the other way around, right? And what really is happening, that's the spiritual awakening. And that means that is your call to go within and uncover and rediscover who you're meant to be, who you are, and get rid of the bullshit, get rid of the BS, get rid of the shit that is not serving you, get rid of that program that is not serving you. Some parts might be, right? Getting dressed and wearing clothes outside is serving me very, very well, and I'll stay that way. But other parts might not, right? So figuring out what's serving you and what's not, and deciding if you want it or not. We can start, okay, where do I start? That's great, Yana. That's great. But where do I start? Where you start is at the very beginning. No, I'm just kidding. You start with whatever question that comes to mind, whatever is replaying in your mind, that's where you start. Because if it continues to replay and you continue to try to find a different way around it, this is not going to go away.
It's just going to get bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you start with whatever's coming through for you. For me, it was a money story.
For me, it was anxiety.
Well, actually, for me, it was a loss, dealing with death.
Yeah, mine was crippling anxiety, but
yeah. Which led to that.
And then like came to the place I am now, whole 180. Like I like to describe it as this. I used to be like a scared little mouse, and now I feel like the roaring lion that's like, ah, you can, yeah. Or in our sense, I feel like a courageous magical warrior unicorn.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because what I also learned I did a little bit of research, because the message that's put out there is you need to be the lion, you need to,
That's true.
right? And I'm like, well, then for me, why did the unicorn come through? Why not the lion? Why a unicorn? And when I started looking at unicorn, what does a unicorn have to do with a lion? And what I learned was this, is that a lion is terrified of a unicorn. So the moment a lion would see a unicorn, of course, not in, the sense that you go and you see a unicorn because they're mythological. And again, they might not be, right? They might have actually existed for all we know. But the moment that a lion sees a unicorn, it runs like a scared little pussy that it is. Right? A big one at that. But it runs away from the unicorn because it's terrified from the sheer existence and presence of this powerful being. And all of us have that powerful being. We all are that magical unicorn, that powerful unicorn. We are. We just forgotten. Or actually, we were told that we're not. So that's what caused us to forget our true nature and our true power that we were all born with. So that's what this podcast is all about. This is why we created Empathy Unicorn Academy. This is why we put so much value and content in the Facebook group alongside these long podcasts to help each and every unicorn that we come across to embrace themselves and allow that to come out. So live as yourself without the fear and worry of the external world, which is judgments and all that kind of stuff that we don't really need to concern ourselves with. And I want to end with this quote, and I feel like it would be suiting in this moment in time. What other people think and say about you is none of your business. It's none of your business. So don't waste time with other people's business and just focus on yourself. I got to tell my kids this. Well, not anymore, but I was telling my kids this almost every day because friends, because teachers, because other adults, whatever they are. But most importantly, it's with their friends, right? This is something that I actually even help adults with as well, because gossip, that's where it comes from, really. I'll use an example with kids. Kids, they go and they talk to other friends. Oh, it's like my daughter Mila, right? Oh, Mila did this or that, or said this and that. And then she'll hear through their grapevine. And then, oh, she starts feeling bad about herself. I'm like, Mila, do you remember the most powerful wisdom quote that I've shared with you? No, because in the moment, we all forget. We all need to be reminded, no matter how old we are. Like, Mila, what other people say and think about you is none of your business. So please don't make it your business, because that alone can take over your whole entire life and day. Do you want that? Her answer is always, no, I don't. So practice not letting it in. I got her to, she only started reading because she's only 12 years old, right? But she started reading a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Nice. That was an amazing book. I love that book.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
So I actually have 2 extra copies of that book. And now I'm thinking like, maybe we can use that as an incentive for people.
Right.
So we'll figure out how we'll use it as an incentive for people.
Just a little glimpse in, a little up. Can't think of the word I'm looking for. Sneak peek.
Yeah, I was gonna say preview of what's to come.
Preview. Yeah. That's a good one.
So then what we'll do, I'll plant the seed right now with between you and I, Bethany, and for everyone else to listen into. So what we can do is we can use we have 2 copies, so we'll give away 2, but we'll use this book as a prize in the Facebook group called Empath Unicorn Academy. So those of you that are watching or listening right now, it's not going to happen this week or in the next week. It's going to be coming. Let's say maybe in June we'll do it. So we'll give people some time. But I want you to join the group, because in order for you to know what's going to be happening, you need to be part of the group. So join the group, keep your eyes and ears open, and for your chance to win a free book from us that I will pay and ship to you myself. And you can enjoy reading it, because the title itself is powerful. And I don't like you thinking like, I'm gonna write this down or make a tattoo. Just the title itself already speaks so loudly, but reading it helps to understand and embody the title itself. That's how I'll describe it. Yeah. So other than that, any closing thoughts or parting thoughts with everyone?
I do have, today's a bonus day. I'm sharing a lot of quotes with you guys. And also this week's gonna be a bonus week, because we're gonna be posting 2 of our YouTube videos, The Assumption and then Limited Beliefs, 2 of them either this week or next week. We'll see how it goes with when they're uploaded to YouTube, but this is a bonus week. So, or next week might be a bonus week, but in the next 2 weeks, to give ourselves a little grace. So you belong in this life. You are living and enjoying. You can handle any challenge and obstacle. You can rejoice in all the opportunities, the experiences, the opportunities, the growth, the expansion, and motivation. These help your equilibrium and harmony be in alignment with your mind, body, and spirit. You got this.
That can be turned into affirmations. The first one that popped into my mind was, I belong. I belong.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I write, it's on the line of it's a poem, it's a quote, but it could be an affirmation. It's a mix of it all, because I feel like it's really powerful to have affirmations. You want to reframe? Tell yourself the reframe every single day in an affirmation, and you will see the change. And I say this from personal experience, because when there's something that I'm desiring for my truth, for my great authentic self, affirmation every day, and it eventually blossoms into a deep root that is the truth and stays the truth and is the greatness that I'm meant to be.
Yeah. So speaking of a bonus week, I feel like I'll add another little bonus onto here. Nice. So the bonus I'm going to add is this tip. Those of you that are watching this whole entire video, this is going to be for you. Okay. Those that don't watch it, you guys miss out. You wouldn't even know. So here's the thing. The first 20 minutes of your morning are the most important minutes of your day and programming and life. And I shit you not. Okay. So the way that you spend the first 20 minutes of your day is going to be, it's like, if you want to reprogram yourself, this is the way to do it. This is how you, it's a hack. This is how you hack the system that you are, the program that you are, and rewire it into the one that you want. Affirmations, like Bethany was saying, do that in the first 20 minutes of your morning. Have anxiety, put it aside. Okay. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, and you will still feel it, and you will continue to feel that anxiety in the mornings as you continue to listen to the same thing until it sets in, until you wake up in the morning and you no longer have anxiety and you say, what? Where did it go?
And then it
Where's
comes
my
back.
anxiety?
We're looking for it.
Exactly. And then you will get it back. I've been there, done that. And then you would get it back the next morning, chances are. And then you'll be like, oh, yesterday was great. But we'll continue doing what you're doing. Don't change. So having said that, the worst thing you can do, so please, if you do this, stop doing this right now, is going on your device, going on your phone, going, I mean, social media is great. It's great, but I hate it because it is the devil, if you will. It is the shit that reprograms you in a way that you don't want to be programmed. So the first 20 minutes of your morning and the last 30 minutes of your evening, if you can do an hour, great. Highly encourage that, because that will just increase your it'll not increase, it'll shorten your healing journey. It'll shorten it'll quicken the progress. You'll get there much quicker. But if you can do 20 minutes, just start there. 20 minutes of your morning in the beginning and 20 minutes before you go to bed. No social media, no device.
Yes.
But again, I use my device and I go directly onto YouTube, and then this is where I listen to my affirmations, or I listen to something educational in the morning, the first 20 minutes especially. And some mornings I still find myself to be resistant. It's very rare, but I still do. It's usually around the period time, whether it's like right before, during, or right after. There's like a day or two. But I still do it. On those mornings, I just do it for longer until I feel cleansed, and centered, as I would call it. So that is one bonus that I'll give you. Another bonus that I will say right now. So today I decided I'm going to come up with an offer for the Energy Leadership Index Assessment, and it's only going to be for this low price, which is going to be $111. Typically, it's $555. So I'm only going to offer it for the first 10 people. Actually, no, first 11 people, right? Because we're doing it for $111, so let's do 11 people. So for the first 11 people, that's going to be the offer. And those of you that are not familiar with what Energy Leadership Index Assessment is, I will quickly summarize it for you, but I highly recommend you checking out our other videos that we have done. And we talked about the Energy Leadership Index Assessment, talking about energy and the law of being. So check out on the YouTube, there's lots of videos on there. If you're not sure, come and talk to me and I'll give you more information. With the website, empathyinacordacademy.com, you go to Energy Leadership Index Assessment. There's a shit ton of information on there. But basically what it is, it's an assessment that has questions in there, 83 questions that you answer. It takes about 5 minutes to do. So you buy it, I send it to you, you do it at whenever you are ready to do it, hopefully really quickly. 83 questions that asks you, that are specifically designed to uncover your energetic attitude, because it's an attitudinal assessment. It's not a personality assessment like all of those out there. It's something entirely different. It measures your attitude and how you show up on a normal day and under stress. And especially under stress, this is where I focus on the most, is because when we are, like, stress also means when you're not feeling, that's a stressful situation. Okay, when you didn't sleep well and you wake up and you're feeling groggy, that's under stress. So you're going to be reacting more than responding. Your attitude is going to be different towards everything that is in your field, in your space, that's like they're arm length away from you, right? Or even a distance away from you. And if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. Buttons are easily pushed. So that's what this assessment is about. It measures your attitude and how you show up. And then the debrief. So $111, what that includes is the assessment and a 90-minute debrief with me one-on-one, which is personalized. And then you get to walk away with where you want to go from here on, right? You'll have lots of tools because every energy level is full of tools. And most importantly, you will start to actually see yourself. And being able to see myself, because I've gone through the ALI now 3 times, being able to see myself made all the difference in the world. Because all the things that I saw, right, on the assessment, I already knew, but I didn't know them. It's like I knew them, I sensed them, but I didn't actually know and understand them. So this is what this assessment does. It allows you to see yourself and understand yourself and start to connect the dots of who you are and who you want to be and how you've been showing up so far in your life and why you are where you are based on how you had been showing up in your life and then where you can go from this point on. So
yeah, when you describe the LI, that's it. That's a hack right there, because you're able to go down deep right away and be like, oh, this is the stuff I want to work on, instead of, because like what we were talking about earlier, like, well, where are you if you're like, where do I start? Maybe an ELI is the best place to start, because then you can go down deep right away, and then you can have things on your list. Okay, I'm going to work on this, this, and this, but let's do this first because it might help this. It might help this. Because I noticed with a lot of things I work on, they kind of flow. They flow together. There'll be one thing, and then it connects to the next thing, and then it connects to the next thing, and it's like the connect the dots as a kid. It's like we're slowly connecting those dots. And that ELI is going to be your hack. And for the price for this deal, that is an amazing deal and offer. So everyone, like, if you are interested in having a hack on how to access your great, your unique, authentic self, your truth, do that. But I mean, there's other things too, but really it's that hack that you've been looking for.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. And then it would be a great starting point. And I also want to say, those of you that are thinking it's expensive and it's a lot, here's what I'll share with you is that after that payment, I get nothing from that, because the ELI, I did not create it. It's not from me. This is from the school, the coach training program that I went through. I am certified in doing this ELI and offering and taking you through the ELI. I've gone through the training, through the practice, a lot of practice, which was, let me tell you, the sweats that I had, I couldn't even sleep because it's very confrontational. It was for me going through the program and learning how to do it, and then also me doing the exam for it. Right. So I've paid my dues, but I have to pay for it in order for me to be able to give it to somebody else. So in the end, I don't get anything from that. So I'm literally offering you at cost. And the reason for that is because how do I put it? Having gone through it myself the first time was life-changing. It opened up my eyes in the way that I didn't know was possible. Like all of a sudden, it's like when you go into a sauna. For you, Bethany, have you ever been to a sauna with your glasses on?
Oh, well, you don't even have to talk about a sauna. In the winter, when I go into a store with the snow, when it says snow out, glasses instantly fogged, and I have to take them off because I can't see anything.
So that's basically how I describe what it allowed me to do. It allowed me to, essentially wipe the fogginess of my glasses, or lose the glasses entirely and be able to see clearly. And what do I get to see clearly? Myself. We all want to see ourselves. We're all selfish and we're all self-absorbed. That is the human nature, because whatever we hear, we instantly apply to, how does that relate to me? What about me? How does that make sense? How do I fit into there? It's all about I. That's why I am, right? And that's what ELI allowed me to do. And I can speak for my clients that have gone through the ELI and my peers and my friends who have gone through the ELI, the same thing. They were able to see themselves clearly. And by seeing yourself clearly, all the other options they just come to surface, and all of a sudden I know what to do. So great point, Bethany. Where do I start? Start with the ELI. That's where we start.
Exactly. Yeah. When you brought that up, I was like, oh, yeah, that's a great place to start. Because for me, I haven't done the ELI, but if I were to do it, in the beginning, I feel like my healing journey would have been like hacked, and I would have like grown through it even more. And so that's why I wanted to bring it up that way. Because it's like, if I feel that way with me going through my growth, because I've done it a lot, and a lot of it is, I like to call it as self-taught, even though I was taught from other people, but I didn't necessarily go to that quick hack. I did the hard way. And if I were to talk to myself back then and to hear about this, it would have been very appealing. Like, what? I can figure that out stuff now and then work on it. And whoa, I can catapult my healing journey to where I want it to be. It's just super powerful. And it's amazing that you're able to offer that to everyone here. Because it's really going to help with healing. Yeah. And I know I will be taking it, one of these times for sure, because it would be interesting to see, but it's cool to come on the other side of doing like that hard journey versus, maybe having that quick hack, like, okay, here you go. Here's what you've been desiring. This is what you want to know. It's like going someone that has like who you are right here on this piece of paper. And you're like, I want to see that. Yes, give that to me. And so you take it. But in my case, I had to learn and practice and find and dig deep to write my own sheet, which is also empowering. And if you want to go that route, more to you. But a lot of people want that quick, okay, here we go. This is what I need to do. And if that's what you're looking for, ELI is your place.
Yeah. And if you want to do the personality tests, there's so many out there, and you can do them for free. But this ELI Energy Leadership Index assessment, which is attitudinal assessment, you're not gonna find anywhere else. I'm just saying, because, and you will only find it from certified IPEC coaches that have gone through the school and then certifying themselves to be the master practitioner for being able to take anyone through the assessment. Because we understand it, and we know how to. I was gonna move my candle. It's a little hot on the outside, so my cat, he likes to walk by, and sometimes he's not aware of where his tail is. And there was one time I'm like, oh my god, his tail went over the candle, and then I could smell the hair. I'm like, yeah. But anyways, so if you guys are ready for the ELI, I will reach out to me. Really reach out to me, because right now I honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't want to spend the time creating another landing page, creating another little thing. I already have a page for the regular ELI, but reach out to me and I will have it. No, I will have the payment in the system and everything ready for you. That's easy to do. I just don't want to go through the hassle of creating a whole new page.
Yeah. And
for the time's sake.
if anyone reaches out to me, I can get you connected with Yana as well. So yeah.
And then I'm going to be making a post in the group as well. So if you're in the group and you are watching, you can keep your eyes open if you don't feel comfortable reaching out and have a conversation, because I understand that as well. We all have, how do I put it? It's like we all go through our own journey where there's a moment in time where we may not feel comfortable and safe reaching out and asking for help and asking for support and asking for deals like that as well. Because I know, like, I'm talking about myself here as well. I remember when I was going through my depressed, whenever there was a deal and I knew that the person wasn't going to be making much, I had tremendous amount of guilt that I didn't want to steal. That's what it felt like. But I'm here to tell you that you're not, that I am more than happy to do this, to give this offer to the first 11 people. And then if you're past, I'll answer the next question, because the next question will be, well, what if I'm number 12? Then it will be $222. Just doubling it. Because that was my initial plan, so that way I can earn a little bit from that, from spending 90 minutes with someone. But I thought, like, you know what? I feel like, I know that this tool is so powerful that and in the place that a lot of people are in right now, with all this shit that's happening, it is so needed. I can't even put the words to it, because I can feel the pain and the suffering that so many people go through, and just being left alone with their own thoughts and being on lockdowns and being home and going through all the turmoils, and here we'll give you this and then we'll take it back and we'll give you this, and it's like the yo-yo stuff that we've all gone through. People have lost jobs. We all have gone through a lot of stuff in the past 2 years. So our attitudes have shifted tremendously. There's so much more victimhood and anger out there, which is extremely reasonable, and it is true, and it is the truth, that I just couldn't, like, there's a part of me, I'm like, I need to give it pretty much away to as many people as I feel comfortable doing. And number 11, I've been seeing a lot of ones lately. So, and even my kids now are like, Mom, look, 444, 111, or 555. Like, you see repetitive numbers, and they already, look, Mom, you look. My son even sits there and waits for the time to change like this. I'm like, no, sweetheart, it doesn't work like that. When you're sitting and waiting for it, that's not it. You gotta be, it's like you just see it.
Yeah.
Doing your own thing, and you look and you see it. So that's my little spiel. That's my little reasoning behind why so low and why for only 11 people. I wish I could give it to everyone for free, but I need to at least cover my costs. And I also know that people that get it for free, more often than not, will not see value in it, and will not walk away with it and do something with it. So that's more so for you to invest in yourself and put this little value of $111 US on something that you're going to go through, and to actually make sure that you do the assessment and you show up for the debrief.
Yeah.
So other than that, we are way past our time.
We were a little bit late today, so we're making up for it. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. We're all in our own little world, and chatting and talking and releasing some stuff and getting ready for the call, and then it's like, oh, look at time. Yeah. Get ready. So yeah.
It was a wonderful, wonderful episode, a wonderful podcast, wonderful healing. I learned a lot, actually, with that whole statement of true, authentic self versus unique and great authentic self. But I also wanted to say thank you to everyone, all of our supporters, everyone in the group. We just appreciate you, and we would love to get to know you more. So drop a comment, say hey, reach out. We are here for you. We're here to help, and we are very grateful for you. And Yana, I'm grateful for you. Sending you all the love. You know, I love how we're able to share our medicine with the people, because that's, for me, a really empowering thing, is to share that medicine. So thank you. Thank you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. It's beautiful out. If it's sunny for you, go enjoy that sun. Get that vitamin D.
Get outside and enjoy a little bit. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I love and appreciate you, Bethany, and your little munchkin over there who come to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye. And bye, everybody. Bye, Bethany.
We'll see you
and
later.
until next week.
Until next Wednesday.
Bye.